I'm Hans-Peter. Today I'd like to show you our newest feature of the Composum AI, automatic site translation for AEM sites. This uses those fabulous OpenAI large language models for some features you don't have with conventional machine translation. The large language model can look at the whole text of the page at one go and thus adapt the translation of the individual texts to the text flow. And you can give it instructions to modify the translation, influencing the tone and style, and give it some hints how to translate special terms. And there's more. The AEM language copy mechanism is wonderful to translate a site for the first time, but if you want to update the pages, this is a bit cumbersome. Instead of this, we are integrating the automatic translation into the rollout of AEM live copies. So if you just change a page, hit rollout, and only moments later it will appear in all the languages you had the site translated to. It's easy to set up, and in addition to the translation, you can use all the other features of the open source Composum AI too. But have a look at it, how this works for yourself. I'm going to show it to you by translating the weekend adventure and travel example site, which AEM provides, into German. For that, I'll remove the German stub that is already there because I want to replace it with a live copy. If you're just trying out, you can also just create a live copy of a subsite for a start. So I'll put that into language masters as well. So since this is a live copy, it has exactly the same settings as the original, namely it has the same language. So I cancel the inheritance of the language setting. I have to reload it. And now we'll insert the right German language. If you don't use a language setting, it will try to guess it from the path. Now let's try to translate something. The FAQ page has quite a lot of text, so it's English for now. And for playing around, there's a workflow. Composum AI translate page or translate page 3. We can start this. Okay, now it's already finished. You see everything is German now. I promised you the magical feature to translate automatically on rollout, not with a workflow, but we have to set up something there. I'm going into the site settings, and now I have to change the rollout configuration. First, I need a standard rollout configuration, which takes care of copying over a new text and components. And then I have to add the Composum AI auto-translate configuration. This will take care of the automatic translation on rollout. Now we are all set up to see how easy it is to make some changes and to roll them out to other languages. So I take the English original for this FAQ page, edit it, and now let's add a new component. And now I can roll out that into other languages. I'll just take the German for now. The translation will normally take a couple of seconds or a minute, so we have to wait a little bit. If you like, you can see in your inbox when it's done. So now let's have a look at the result. And there it is, our new component. If you want to translate the whole site or subtree, then you can use the other workflow if you're doing this for the first time. If you make changes, then you will normally just use the rollout process. But be aware that this takes some time. For the weekend site, it took about 10 minutes, but of course it may vary depending on how complex your site is. You can still see the workflow is running or have to use the workflow instances view. Please notice that the weekend travel site uses extensively content fragments and experience fragments, and of course they have to be translated as well. This uses the same scheme. I created live copies of the English as the German experience fragments and use the workflow to translate them, and the same thing with assets. I created a live copy of the English to the German or Deutsch side and used the workflow. In this case, it guesses the language from the path which contains DE. Now to something even more interesting. You can use Sling context aware configuration to specify instructions for the site or for parts of the site. For instance, I instructed it to translate the weekend as Wochenend Adventures in German and to address the user informally with du in contrast to the normal German Sie. By the way, this is the Composum Nodes Sling context aware configuration editor, but of course you can use your own favorite editor. Now if you try to translate a page, here you have the German Sie, and I retranslate this with the workflow. And look at the text again, and it's using dich, and it's Wochenend Adventures. If we change that to the good old pirate language, just for fun, and translate something again. It will do that as well. Of course, if you notice that something should be improved, you can do that. But remember, this is now a live copy of the English text. So you have to cancel the inheritance first, which means if the translation is again triggered, then this won't change. And then edit it. Or if you like, you could also use the content creation dialog of the Composum AI. You can also call up the text that was originally translated, use the translation prompt, and add some instructions. For instance, using do again, and it will be retranslated. Or you could type a prompt directly, just use the original text, and then we revert to Z again. And there it is. So that's it for today. How about just trying it out? Remember, Composum AI is free and open source. You can just grab a copy and install it on your local system or your test system and see how it performs on your side. Have fun with it, and please tell us how it goes and contact me in case of any questions. Perhaps it's just the thing that will save you a lot of time in managing your site.